Here we are, Dream Warriors 50.3. What am I doing with this numbering? I have no idea. No, I do. I'll get a little bit more into that. We got a topic today. I think people glossed over this one real quick. Let's just hit that music and get going. Okay, we're back. It is Tuesday. Let's get the date right. Tuesday, August 29th is in the AM. Dealing with rain. I think we're at a little bit of a lull period with the rain. I got coffee just ripping it in the background because I need it. So the last episode, 50, I think I owe everyone a apology. Dream Warriors 50.2 did not have an introduction because it was unrecorded, and I really hate going back and even adding to, unless if it's for the YouTube releases, adding anything that isn't recorded during session. It's a pet peeve of mine. I think I like to have a practice and hit all the marks, and hey, that was the first time. I think that might have been the first outside of episode 1. So that's your Dream Warriors trivia there. 50.2 and Dream Warriors episode 1 are the only two without an introduction. Yeah, so what exactly are we doing here? So just building into where we are. Sunday night, 2 days ago, Mark and I got back to the regular practice of Dream Warriors. So we recorded 2 episodes. First time we did 2 episodes back to back Sunday night, and it was maybe like a 4-hour recording session with maybe a 30-minute break. But we relatively did episodes 51 and 52. We get into a discussion on Alien Covenant and Get Out because we are grossly divided on both of those movies. Mark kind of being a little bit of a self-analytical rock star. It's slow with him, but I see him turning a corner to where, he realizes he sets up these movies to disappoint him, and I think it's kind of getting through that. Trailers. We need trailers, people. Trailers they're a big thing. Coffee is done. I might just have to stop to make some coffee to get some of that. Nothing like the morning ritual of coffee. But yeah, so Mark's kind of turning this corner. I think we see it with 51 and 52. And then we go into a Netflix discussion with 52, and there was like a little there's political stuff that I got into. Not really like political, more like explanations and kind of like like talking about something without the use of headlines or clickbait, which is really what's plaguing all of media today. Being able to make money off of clicks and articles and time spent reading, which is where you get all the those slideshows from. It's just destroying how we talk about things. And there's so much misinformation or misunderstood information or just pieces of information that are just incomplete. and so we kind of touched on some of that on Dream Warriors 52. I'm debating on cutting all of it out and just sticking to our Netflix conversation, because everybody wants to know what we think of the Defenders and what Marvel's really doing with Netflix overall, which is always extraordinary. Too many ums there. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm just kind of struggling because I got the sun like beaming right into my grill. But you know what? Yeah, here you go. I usually wear a backwards baseball cap when I record, which anyone that follows me on Instagram, aka AKAPAD13, I'm usually always wearing a backwards baseball cap. I just flipped the bill to get some shadow on my eyes. So yeah, so we're here in the morning, and this is not a coffee and news with Peter episode. This is still a Dream Warriors is on pause, hiatus, and we're taking a little break to figure it out. So and just to run everyone into where things are right now. So Sunday was late night session, 2 episodes, 4 hours. Monday rolls around. I wanted to start releasing a run of what would lead into 51, the return to Dream Warriors, and I just couldn't do it. Mondays have become complete shutdown rest days for me, meaning I'll sleep a few hours Sunday going into Monday, I'll power through Monday, come home and watch The Bachelorette with a female friend of mine, eat, like we usually eat a lot of food, good and bad, healthy or unhealthy, I'll say. And when she leaves, she usually leaves around 12. I just shut down. I always have a list of, she'll leave and I'll make a list of things to get to. I wanted to do some recording, which is what we're doing now. I wanted to do this Monday evening, okay. So, it gets disappointing when you crash like that and you have things on your list, and there's maybe been like a little gap with Dream Warrior releases, but this is the only welcome gap that I was comfortable with. So we're going to pause real quick. We're going to make some Reese's Pieces, the light creamer, Reese's Pieces Buttercup, the light creamer iced coffee, because it's the bomb diggity, and Peter needs some of that. Not even just to be awake, because I'm fully awake right now, but just to put something in my stomach. So just give me a few. I'll be right back, and I'll let you know what Dallas is up to when I return. Okay. Yeah. That was that. So I don't know. I got one of those Ninja coffee makers, and it's so tricky sometimes. It made I might have had it on specialty brew, but it essentially made a double shot of espresso instead of a pot of coffee, and it's literally right behind me. And I just was not paying attention to it because I was just trying to get my head straight for this episode. And so now we're back recording a full pot, and I'm trying to keep my eye on it. And already it's more than what it previously did. So so just to introduce a little bit of the precept here is I'm big on retaining information and memorizing things. I think when you're discussing, especially today, like any hot button political, and I will say, even if you're going to argue Michael Bay is next to Spielberg the second greatest filmmaker of all time, you gotta have something, and you can't be looking things up on your phone all the time. If you're going to argue that Warner Brothers is doing Zack Snyder dirty with the Joss Whedon, jumping, or the Zack Snyder pull, the Justice League Zack Snyder pull, you got it. And if you think that's an injustice, and it's not just how you feel. It's good sometimes to have facts that illustrate that there might be a deeper want for something else, meaning that people will bash Zack Snyder for being like slow motion. He doesn't do characters very well. He's all flash. He's no substance. And you can kind of be like, well, these, here are some examples of his character. Like he's illustrated a character. He wrote this in the Making of Superman book about his connection with the Man of Steel, and here are some indicators of what his intent was with Man of Steel, and he did this with Watchmen, and look at his box office numbers, and he's the architect after pushing out Christopher Nolan for the DCEU, and that just through fact you sculpt a position. I'm a big maybe a little obsessive about it, of not having to look everything up. I'm kind of sick of people just constantly having to flip something up on their phone to illustrate a point that they don't even have formulated yet, but somehow Wikipedia fills in that gap for them where it doesn't. And one of the arguing techniques, that coffee is going, holy moly. Yeah, someone's like a full pot. I don't know what. I guess I selected specialty brew when I made my previous pot, but I don't care. I'm doing double shot espresso, 2 giant coffee cubes, because I don't use ice cubes anymore. I use coffee cubes. That's a little bit of a secret trick. And a crap load of the Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup Delights Creamer. And I don't know. I'm loving it. It's just so good, everyone. So what we're doing now is a example of that, of me just going off the top of my head, remembering what I remember, with little research. The only research I did of what I'm about to get into, if you haven't seen the show title or any of the information about the show, like this will not be used in the thumbnail. I'm still using the standard stained by the TV going off air thumbnails for this, because when 51 rolls around, we will have a new thumbnail design, which I'm very excited for. It was Friday night a couple days ago, and I wanted to do what was what I call a staycation. Just wanted to stay home and decompress, and I needed it. I think this is why I also crashed so hard on Monday. So I'm literally at home. I think what did I put on? Might have been the Green Mile, because that's on Cinemax, and I haven't seen that in a while, and I just wanted to have they're about so good with dialogue. Everyone will gravitate towards Quentin Tarantino, but when it comes to dialogue, to me it's like Darabont, Woody Allen. They're almost like my, and Quentin's right in there, but those are the guys I would scoop together. Having views on screenwriters too, and what they're good at, or what shines through their screenplays and ends up on film. That'll get your bonus points with me when you criticize a film. But anyway, so I'm just sitting down. I'm taking notes. John called me previously that day to ask my opinion on something, and the last 2 or 3 Fridays, John's called me. John, who's been a previous part of Dream Warriors. There you go. Coffee pot is done. He's called me on Friday where I have been holed up in a McDonald's off of Broad Street, stuffing my face. And this time I was eating a family size box of the $12 family box, which is 2 cheeseburgers, 2 Big Macs, 5 nuggets, and 2 medium fries. And it's awesome. So I was eating that, and the people there, which are always like super nice. It's crazy. Some of the people in that McDonald's are as nice as they are because they do nothing but deal with pieces of crap, pieces of shit, like all shift because it's on Broad Street and it's like literally right next to either a homeless shelter or like a halfway house. So, and this is how we get diverse. So, moving on. So John calls me and he's asking, did I see? What do I think about Jim Lee's comments? Ben Shapiro's comments are on the James Cameron comments about Wonder Woman, and I was just piecing it together as I was talking to him and stuffing my face with horrible food, right? Food that was gonna kill you. And like I just remembered some things hitting my newsfeed. It was kind of out of my mind even on Friday. And so essentially James Cameron made comments about Wonder Woman that the internet just really went buck wild with. People tweeting to him, retweeting his comments, and taking it's called virtue signaling against James Cameron. And I just remembered the one byline because I use Feedly for just about a dozen different types of news aggregation. Like and by types I mean subject, meaning I have one just for Apple. I have one just for what Google's doing. I have one for horror movies. I have one for movies in general. I have one for New Jersey, for PA. It's a lot of my topics, okay? And Feedly really it's so quick and I love it. So I remember seeing something, and one of the comments or the headlines on Feedly was like Wonder Woman is not like progress. Like Wonder Woman's. So I speak with John. And, I was even curious to why someone even like Ben Shapiro would comment on other people's comments of James Cameron. And I don't know what Ben Shapiro said. Honestly, I really don't care when it comes to this matter. Because, but side note, Ben Shapiro is a certifiable, like, sexy genius, one of a kind. I'm not sure. I think that dude was made in the laboratory. And then he mentioned Jim Lee too. I later could not find what Jim Lee said. I looked for a couple minutes and I just didn't care. So I'm home Friday taking notes because I wanted to get into that and I wanted to research it. I wanted to see what other DC creators and see who from their executive branch, see what they said and see how like congruent, or not really congruent, if there was like any collusion in talking points. I didn't get that deep because someone knocked on my door and asked me if I wanted to party on the roof deck, and that turned into a cocaine party on my roof deck at Friday. So, hold up. After that, you gotta drink some coffee. So, I'm setting this up to kind of like where my points are coming from, which is essentially I took notes. John called me Friday. We talked about while I was at McDonald's. Later that night, I put on the Green Mile, took notes, went to a roof party, drank my face off, did cocaine, and a couple of days went by, and now we're here. Okay? So, and I have not did any additional research, but one thing occurred to me today, which was there's nothing on this. Like no YouTube, anything. There's nothing additional in my feed, and that's what motivated me to just sit back down and do this and release this before we start marching towards Dream Warriors 51. how did this just get looked over so quick? Is it and I guess the positive in just how the news cycle and even the internet fever glossed over this and moved on real quick. The positive part is that it did happen. I was shocked when I realized it didn't, but it could have been the Houston tragedy, which is nothing but apocalyptic if you look at those pictures. Very scary stuff. I grew up in a basement that was like prone to flooding. And there is like a fear of water coming in and destroying your stuff, and that mildew smell that is still with me today. So I see those pictures and geez, I don't want to say I wish I could do something. I wish I could donate, because I got my own problems. And I have plenty of friends that are / social work for me. Mark, not that Mark, not Dream Warriors 51 Mark, the other Dream Warriors Mark. I'm talking to you, buddy. He's one of them. But yeah, so I took notes. A couple of days went by, and now we're here. So there's been no dialogue and no conversation about this. So what I'm getting at is that James Cameron was talking to I think The Guardian, and he was asked, "Hey, what do you think about the Wonder Woman movie?" And let me just tell you. I'll just tell you, because I'm going to just bring it up. There you go. Let's just do James Cameron. Yeah. James Cameron Wonder Woman is already a suggested Google search. Okay. Might have been The Verge. I'm sorry. Okay. So, not to mention, Wonder Woman is a character that has highly been sexualized throughout her entire history. The creation of Wonder Woman was to respond to male fetishes. Okay, male dominance over women. Okay, she was not empowerment at all. Even going up to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 80s being her best period with George Perez. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of feedback issue here. I'm not sure if the mic's picking that up. Yeah, and even if you bring Wonder Woman into the 90s, it's phenomenal that she's even looked at as female empowerment, because any female character that survived through the 90s, you have to be upset at these companies if you're going to take a somewhat of a feminist stance. And by that I mean is that these companies did nothing but sell women as objects to young men, to young readers, impressionable minds that are now adults that went through college and entered into the workforce. 90s comics helped shape the objectification of women. But, we will not ever hear that at all discussed. I got this article here, and it's it's too long. I'm trying to get something right here. Let's see what Wired says. Okay. Jeez, you know what? I think Wired aggregated all of the some of the Twitter responses. Right over here. I'm derailing this, and I had such a good setup too. Let's see here. One more sec. Okay, so the big one. Okay, so the big buzz. Yeah, so the buzzword was that one woman set women back. Let me see here. James Cameron, the filmmaker and director of Titanic. We know who he is. Who's thought it was Wonder Woman Jenkins having it. Wow. yeah, he said Wonder Woman is a step backwards. Patty Jenkins, who's really only directed one movie ever, Monster, responded this way to James Cameron. James Cameron, I think per capita, even with inflation, the highest grossing, largest audience, theater filling talent that's ever graced Hollywood. Okay, this dude, James Cameron, is a force. Calling James Cameron force of nature is a understatement. Okay, but this is what Patty Jenkins had to say to James Cameron. James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as though he is a great filmmaker. He is not a woman. Okay, that's fantastic. Jenkins wrote on a Twitter post later Thursday night, if women have to always be hard, tough, troubled to be strong, and we aren't free to be multidimensional or celebrate an icon of women everywhere because she is attractive and loving, then we haven't come very far, have we? Okay, wow. Well, we just went into some of the origins of the character. So Patty Jenkins just got hired to make a movie, and she knows nothing of the character. Drew Morris already went through Wonder Woman as a role model. A fictional character should not be a role model for anyone, ever. Okay. It's part of issue with Norm. He mentioned that Punisher and Batman were like male role models for him, and it's I've seen the damage of that. Okay, now role models should be real people who have been through adversity we can relate to, not fighting Greek gods and kissing Superman. There's nothing role model about that. Okay, watch the CrossFit Games. If you want, if Sarah Skarsgård, okay, they're all Northlanders, okay. I always butcher their lacing. Watch the CrossFit Games. Watch the female competitors. Okay, those are some strong role models. Those girls will snap you in half, and some of them are so freaking hot. Like Amy Stahl's daughter. Oh my God, love that girl. I followed her on Instagram. She was eating these like chocolate crepes the other day with I think it was like banana. They look so good. But yeah, so that was Patty Jenkins' response. Later, Jeff Johns responded, retweeting that. John mentioned that Jim Lee may have made a comment. I couldn't find it. So that was that, okay? And that kind of like went away. So they immediately started to label James Cameron as a like woman-hating feminist. And you know what? I'm just going to go into something real quick. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I just wanted to verify if Gail Ann Hurd was one of the producers for that, and I'm almost positive she was, because I'm making a point here. You know what? I don't have a full. Why is it when you need to look things up on the internet some days, there is nothing. You get nothing. All right, storyline, box office, technical, even IMDb. Where is the director, writer, stars? Okay, no. So am I just gonna have to Google Gail Ann Hurd now and backtrack, because I just gave away my point. Production go. Unbelievable. Gail Ann Hurd. Gail Ann Hurd Terminator is already suggested. All right, so anyone? Okay, yeah. So here we go. Okay. So James Cameron just makes a comment. He goes, "Look, the way I interpret that is, if you're saying a Wonder Woman is not very progressive for women. It's a step backward. You're viewing it from a guy that's made some of the biggest movies ever, all featuring strong female characters. Really brought female action stars in the forefront with Aliens. People will say Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but no, it was Aliens. Between Alien and Alien, Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, that type of character, went back to just being slaughtered. Okay, Ripley in Alien, the Ridley Scott movie, okay, is a smart, tough, clever, okay, like kicking and screaming, not giving up type of character. Okay, that character relatively went away for what was considered like major Hollywood movies. Aliens comes out, he brings that character back and takes away the victimhood of Ripley. And Ripley in Aliens is and getting back with Norm. I talk about Norm so much. One of the fallouts Norm and I had is that he was trying to tell me that Aliens is not it's not a good movie, essentially. And I'm like, no, get out. Okay, Aliens is one of the greatest movies. Not just action, not just science fiction, not just monster, whatever, not just military-driven fantasy. No, it's one of the greatest movies ever. Okay, so no, he makes Ripley into a non-victim. Ripley is a woman of action, and this is why Aliens as a female character driven, or just Aliens as a vehicle for a female driven character. Okay, that's why it's far more significant than Alien, far more. Okay, one of his producing partners is Gail Ann Hurd. Okay, if you don't know who she is. All right, let's talk about Gail. Female, okay? She's a girl. Is it bad for me to say that? She's currently 61. I'm just going off Wikipedia. Born October 25th, 1955. Education, Stanford. Boom, 1977 graduate. Spouses. Oh, geez, here we go. Ready? James Cameron. Oh, excuse me, James Cameron. So if there's anyone that understands like the plight of the female in Hollywood and how tough it is, and but nothing's really, I don't think anything's easy in Hollywood. I think it's the same as like the NFL when people say, oh, that's an easy game. They're playing the Browns. It's the Dolphins. And no, there's no easy victory in the NFL. There's no easy career in Hollywood. Okay, so Gail Ann, being married to Mr. James Cameron, produced The Terminator, Aliens, Alien Nation, Bad Dreams, The Abyss, Downtown, Tremors, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, The Water Dance, Raising Cain, Safe Passage, The Ghost in the Darkness, The Relic, Dante's Peak, Armageddon, bam, 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 Virus, Dick, Adventure Inc., syndicated TV show. Clock Stoppers, a little overrated there. People like to kind of try and make that into a cult movie. Hulk, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, The Punisher, ouch. Aeon Flux, ouch. Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah. Incredible Hulk. Okay, we got you there. Punisher, Warzone. Oh, here we go. Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead. Well, thank you, Miss Ann Hurd. And then we're at just modern day run. Hunters, I'm not familiar with any of these. Hunters, Falling Water, Main Killer, Lore. Hunters and Falling Water are 2016. I'm curious to look this up. All right. So he's deeply connected with the struggle and the plight of a female, of an attractive. I always thought she was attractive woman in Hollywood. Gail and her also her other spouse would be Brian De Palma. So she, who did Raising Cain in 1992, another movie she produced. So she obviously likes filmmakers, and when we just click on James Cameron's Wikipedia, spouses, Gail Ann Hurd. Okay, ready. Catherine Bigelow. Who's Catherine Bigelow? Who else is James Cameron married to? Okay, let's just go through, because Catherine Bigelow too, man, boy is she hot. Filmography, okay, set up short film, haven't seen The Loveless. Whoa, that's on Amazon Prime. Go see Loveless with William Dafoe. That movie's got fire. Okay, Born in Flames. Oh, actress, was I aware? Oh, here we go. Give me 1 second here. Okay. I promised a appearance by Dallas. Okay. Or I promised an update. Dallas just literally jumped right across my recording table here and just walked right over the laptop. To lie down, but I had to shoo him away. But yeah, okay. Catherine Bigelow. Okay, here we go. Ready? Near Dark. Boom. One of the greatest vampire movies of all time. Everyone's in that too. Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, little fat kid that blows up at the end, I think. All right, so now she did a couple music for it. Okay, ready? Blue Steel, awesome movie. That kind of created a trend of, which is an interesting trend that no one kind of touches on. So we're just going to go into Blue Steel real quick. So Blue Steel essentially is a female cop that is, because she's a woman, and she is somewhat victimized as a female cop in that movie, and she needs to overcome this. And she needs to overcome it out of the realm of her being a woman, or like the confines of her being a woman, meaning that she's got to be smarter, she's got to be quicker, got to be a little bit more clever, she's got to be a clever little girl. And this is Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis, and there's been a lot of movies that have borrowed this concept, okay, and they've even like side borrowed, meaning movies like Enough, I believe we're all inspired by Blue Steel. Blue Steel is also shot really well. And then we have hugely underrated Strange Days. Okay, so we skipped a movie here. Blue Steel, Point Break, Strange Days. We know Point Break. Let's not go into that. After Strange Days, which I recommend anyone to that's with Ray Fiennes, and I forget the girl in that, black girl. Angela Bassett maybe. Okay, yeah, good movie. That was during like the VR craze, like the VR trend in Hollywood, and you have 3 notable movies for the VR trend. Okay, you have Strange Days, the obvious Lawnmower Man, and you have Johnny Mnemonic. Okay, and you know what, too, like for the flavor of these movies, you can kind of put, like, for some reason I always like mentally put Tank Girl right in there, but even though Tank Girl's like completely subject matter wise different, it has like a flavor that's similar to it. Undertow, I'm not familiar with that. That came out in 1996. The Weight of Water, man, haven't seen that. K-19, The Widowmaker, director, producer. Okay, that movie was kind of like a run of her, I guess you can say, like wartime trilogy. And by that I mean that came out in 2002. So 2008 you have The Hurt Locker. We all know about that movie. So yeah, Widowmaker, which is a submarine movie. We have Hurt Locker, and now we have Zero Dark 30. Okay, so it's kind of like she did do a war trilogy. K-19 Widowmaker is it's got Harrison Ford. I think maybe Ed Harris. I'm forgetting here. I should just click. Hold on. Let me just click on Liam Neeson, and I hate to say this. I think it's a forgettable submarine movie. I don't know, when it comes to submarine movies, it's Hunt for Red October, Run Silent, Run Deep, The Enemy Below, and geez. That might be it. U-571 with Johnny Depp. Good movie. And it's got Johnny Depp. I would put that above K-19. The class of submarine movie is very, very small. So, James Cameron spent some time with women. He spent some time with female characters, like building maybe some of the best female characters. And he's been involved with some female Hollywood powerhouses. Oh, and FYI, just so we do it all, let's just go back to Cameron. So Cameron's third wife is Linda Hamilton. Okay, so producer, director, actress. This dude has banged every level of Hollywood struggle, Hollywood acceptance of women. And right now he's married to Susie Armiz, and I'm not even sure is she an actress? Oh, she is an actress. Oh, this one too. She's a little, I remember her. So let me get like a better. Wikipedia does not have a good picture of her. She is hot. Yeah, I remember her. She's been in a lot of movies. Okay, so does James Cameron know about women? Yeah. Does he know about women on like every conceivable level? Yeah. Does he know more about women than I do? Probably. When it comes to Hollywood. I had to put that in there. No, but really, so now all of a sudden, his opinion is a attack. It's attack on females, and everyone loses their. I never thought he was much, but Jeff Johns, he's one of he might be the chief creative officer of DC Comics. He's also the guy spearheading all the movies. You can say he's like the showrunner. He's the Kevin Feige of the DCEU. He's given him a lot of credit. He brought mostly, just to gloss it over, Flash and Green Lantern into a mythology and relevance. He's on a 10-year run with Green Lantern that is just phenomenal. Some of the ideas just don't apply to the rest of the DC universe, but they're just fun ideas, and it's just good stuff to cherry pick. His best work was The Flash, following Mark Waid. That's a duel, if you want to talk about who did it better. I'm a Mark Waid Flash guy. Now, I like Jeff Johns though a lot. So he retweets that. Gail Simone, female comic author, makes a comment about, hey, who wants to see Avatar 2 more than Wonder Woman 2? With her retweet or something. Okay, so we have probably tens of thousands of documented hours and white paper created talking about what James Cameron has done in cinema. I mean, it's for endless analysis and debate. Okay, Gail Simone, no one can ever tell me what to read from her. Okay, she's a female comic book writer that gets work writing female comic book characters, and it's only because she's a female. Okay, I can't think of anything by her. I think I don't know. The major contributors to the Wonder Woman mythos through the years of the printed page have been contributed by men. Okay, so let me get some of this coffee. Jim Lee possibly said something. So we have a whole industry now that takes a high horse that attacks James Cameron, who has done more. James Cameron may have done more in his like 7-8 movies than the entire comic industry has done in the last 15 years. Okay. If James Cameron came on board for a DCEU movie, okay, like let's just say he maybe cherry picked something a little bit off center, okay, like not, like he got interested in not like Suicide Squad, but like let's say The Outsiders, and he gets interested in making an Outsiders movie with G-Force, all those guys, a little bit of Dark Knight sprinkled in that. People would lose their minds. This would be everything getting like better, like, and it would be a jolt of energy, and it would just be an obvious home run. The hype would be real. The excitement would be, things would just be vibrating. Okay, people would lose their minds if he signed on to a DCEU movie. So, but not now. Not now. Now he's a woman-hating a-hole. That some of the brightest minds, even I don't agree with a lot of his work or what he says, Jeff Johns. But, he's still brilliant. Jeff Johns is still brilliant. One of the top 5-6 writers of his generation. So, but all of a sudden now, you're on the high horse and you want to dictate to other people how they should feel about James Cameron, whose films will live on far, far longer, far more than your comics. And so during all of this, I got a Sarah kind of forgot that I was like on my list. I walked into a used bookstore and I got a Green Lantern, constructing the film Green Lantern, relatively art book, making up book, hardback from the movie Green Lantern, who that movie itself, everything that was chosen for that movie came from Jeff Johns. Okay, that was essentially his Green Lantern movie. So I read the intro for that, and I just get so pissed because he makes it sound like that movie is amazing. Like that movie is a home run. And look, I think that movie got lowballed a little bit. I think that movie's a lot better than people give it credit for. Far more, like just when it comes to superhero movies, even like of the time, like better than a chunk of them. Like that Green Lantern movie is better than 3 Punisher movies, 2 Ghost Rider movies, maybe on par with 1 Daredevil movie. X-Men 3 is on par with, okay? Batman Forever, it's on par with, okay? Quest for Peace, no. Superman 3, no, it's still better than Superman 3. Okay, so you see my point. Is it better than Zorro? No, nothing's better than Zorro. But no, I really enjoyed going through this book. I love reading books like that because it's just better than watching DVD documentaries. I get just sick of watching that stuff sometimes. I'd just rather read it. I'd rather have the book. I'd rather be able to stare at something. There's a couple pictures of them with Abin Sur, who died and gave the ring to Hal Jordan, and you see the prosthetic of the the life-size mold of that character on this table, and there's all these cool things on the shelves, okay, in this one picture. And I like looking what's on the shelves. I never got the need to learn how to do some of that stuff, and which is good because there's been so much I got the need to learn, podcasting being one of them. Jeff Johns writes this introduction. I just feel like it's BS. I almost want to do a thing, like a whole production just on that intro to analyze it and to maybe poke some of these hypocrisies out and these inconsistencies. That's part of the game in Hollywood, though. You got to play along. So everyone worked hard on the movie that everyone hated. Everyone worked hard, which I do take. I do take that position sometimes because I think it's overlooked. I will address it if I feel like it's overlooked when I'm speaking across from someone who is criticizing a movie and seems to act like it's all easy and things could just easily be this way, if they only did this. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, you don't realize what you just said there was a $20 million shot, okay? So, or why can't they just get this actor? Okay, well, maybe that actor is hooked up on the cocaine or heroin or some other awesome drug. No, just joking. No one do drugs. So everyone's a backseat film critic, and most of the time there is no education on what it really takes, the cost, the time, the management, the controlling the wave, the current, the executives, the emails, the calls, the text messages, dealing with the press. Any movie that makes its way out of Hollywood, I think it's a freaking miracle. Green Lantern being one of them. However, yeah, it's one of the less revered comic book movies. Jeff Johns doesn't seem to think that, according to the introduction of Green Lantern constructing the film. So I thought that was great timing, seeing that book, reading that intro, and seeing all these James Cameron comments. Sorry, we got some cop cars here because we're in Philly. But yeah, I just wanted to address that. So this is Dream Warriors 50.3 signing off. And hey, everyone, you got to do your homework assignments. Your homework assignment is to create, get creative, learn something new, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Okay, I've been on a big run of that. I just keep doing things, and I rediscovered my FOMO, fear of missing out, and there's just nothing I don't want to do right now. I'm just like fever pitch stuff. I just don't want to say no. If someone's here, I go. If they're doing this, I do it. And boy, it's just remolding me. I think it's like twisting that DNA, the hex DNA strain, like into a different way for me, and it's fun, but you gotta do it. I don't care what your situation is. Everyone's busy. Everyone has something holding them back, something holding them. Most of the things, life lesson here. Most of the things that are holding you up are in place by you. You put those things there. So think about that, okay? I've been saying okay too much. I'm afraid to go back and listen to my ums. See, I almost said okay there. Boom. Okay. Do something. Get yourself out of the comfort zone. Get some FOMO. Be creative. And that's a Dream Warrior signing out.